Hey, rich friends, it's your girl Chacha, recording live from the Money Mantra, and we are back with another Forex education video. The purpose of this channel is to help as many people as possible become independent and profitable traders within the foreign exchange market. So, if there's something you're interested in, make sure that you subscribe. If you get to the end of this video and you find that it's helpful, just like, share, leave a comment. And yeah, if you're interested in personal mentorship because the videos are just not enough, all the information is down below in the description box. So in today's quick video, we're going to be doing sort of a part two to another video that I released called In-Depth Intro to Tradingview. Because Tradingview is the platform that I use to take my trades, well, to analyze the market, and it's also the platform that I use to teach. Is it the only platform out there? No, but it is pretty helpful and it adds a lot of value to my trading style and trading experience. So you can just go to TradingView simply by literally going to tradingview.com. And this is what the home screen is going to look like. Now, to get into the things that I'm going to show you guys today, just some updates and some not even hidden features because they're really there in plain sight, but we're going to have to actually go to a chart. So I have my watch list over here. And everybody has their own personal watch list, which are the currency pairs or assets that you like to trade. So you can add stuff to your watch list because I know sometimes if let's just say I'm looking at Euro USD and then I search Euro CAD, it's like I'll just have to keep searching it. But if I want to keep it on my screen at all times, I'll just add it to my watch list. So what I found, and this don't have to be this big, but I'm just showing you the currency pairs that I have over there. Now, what I found just in my trading experience is that I tend to have more success with USD pairs, right? And I realized that I suffer a lot more losses when I'm trading JPY pairs. So I've removed JPY from my trading like arsenal right now, and I'm only focusing on trading USD crosses. So if I wanted to add, I feel like I have everything, or USD JPY. If I wanted to add any other USD pairs, I can just simply click the plus sign where my watch list is, click USD, and then see if it's, well, I will click the Forex. And then anything USD that I don't have that I wanted to add, I can do that. So if I wanted to add USD CAD, I would just click on it, click on the plus sign, and now it's permanently a part of my watch list. So when you want to get to the major chart, right? Let's just say you're hopping on TradingView for the first time. You choose the pairs that you want to study consistently, and then you click See on Super Charts. And once you click that, it's going to take you into your trading screen. Now, my trading screen looks like this because I've already customized it with the indicators that I like. And these are the indicators that I typically teach from. But there are so many different indicator combinations that you can have. Like, let's just say you are somebody who was previously in IM Academy and you know that you like the simple scalper strategy. All you will have to do is essentially recreate that strategy on your naked chart, and it would be there. And I'm just going to show you guys pretty much how to save your own templates or how to take advantage of the templates that TradingView already has, which is one of the newer things that I've noticed, but it's just nice to know that you have options because the way that I explain things, it may just not click for you. When I first started trading, I went through so many different strategies and indicators before I figured out what worked for me and why. So what you'll notice at the top of your bar, directly next to the indicators tab, you'll see 4 little squares. And these are the indicator templates, right? So if you are somebody who, for example, you like the web slinger strategy, right? Web slinger was just so easy for you to understand. Drop a 3 in the chat if you remember web slinger, right? And all the lines, and it was pretty straightforward, right? If the candles are above all those lines, we know we're going for a buy. If the candles are below those lines, we know we're going for a sell. And TradingView actually has a template that looks exactly like web slinger, and it's called moving average exponential ribbon, right? And then look at that. We have this template that's already pretty much preloaded. So let me turn off my session breaks really quick, y'all. Sorry. Just so my chart looks a little bit cleaner. So if you like a strategy like Web Slinger, you can just come in here and load this template. And that was one of the benefits of being in a trading academy, right? Because everything was done for you. You just had to come in and know what you were looking for. So we can clearly see with this strategy, again, if the candles are falling above these ribbons or moving averages, we will focus on buys, right? If it's in between, we can see it's consolidation, but as soon as we had the cross up above all the lines, we could have gotten that trade for a buy and secure how many pips that you feel safe with, right? Depending on what asset I'm trading, I've noticed with my trading, the USD pairs, they typically, I know I can, 30 pips is like a safe medium, right? For my USD pairs. 40, I feel like when I drop 40 pips, is pushing it a little bit, but it's still within the daily range that my USD pairs will go within a day. So having a strategy like this it would be simple, right, for me, because if I came into this chart and I saw that my candles were in between, I'm not going to do anything. But as soon as I see my candle cross above, I'm going to secure my 25 to 40 pips, right? Or even if I wanted to twin trading is just you're entering the same trade twice. Even if I wanted to twin trade, I know that I can secure for sure 20 pips, right? I would just get into the trade twice and do 20 pips for each trade, and I'm still getting 40 pips within a day. So this template is pretty straightforward, right? Now, again, vice versa. Once you see that the candles have either broken past all of the EMAs or they fall under, simply put your focus in on sales, right? And I just like to go back a little bit, right? Just so that you guys can see how simple it is to see this once you understand what you're looking for, right? You guys notice that the candles falling under the EMAs, it's a sell, right? And essentially, if they're under the EMAs, those EMAs are acting as an area of resistance. And we can see that, right? We can see that. If you guys can see the EMAs acting as an area of resistance as the market was on this downtrend, just drop a 7. And likewise, if you can see that once the candles cross above all the EMAs, it's clearly going to buy, and you know you can secure 20 pips, right? Just drop a 7 because this template is already on Tradingview, right? You don't have to do anything extra. You don't have to go in. You don't have to change any settings. You simply log in, you click on the 4 things, and then you load that. And they have other templates here. This template is called MAEXP ribbon, which stands for moving average exponential ribbons, right? And they have other templates here that you can come around and play with as well. They have this one, which is just the 3 lines, and it's the same thing. Whenever you have any line indicators, candles above, buy, candles below, sell. So it's really whatever works for you, right? Now, what you can do, let me take this strategy off. I'm just going to take all of this stuff off, and you can modify it. Like once you find any like simple scalper, no ma'am, but you can simple scalper right there. And you know what I did? I recreated simple scalper and then I saved it. Like you guys know the strategy that I like to use is double EMA, MOM stochastic. So I saved it. So simply when I click on it, it's going to load my indicators, and I'm going to show you guys actually how to create your own template. I showed you how to take advantage of the ones that's already here, but it's really as simple as switching back and forth, right? Switching back and forth. So let's just say even if I delete this, right, or I accidentally delete it and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot which EMA it was, the 50 to 200, I can simply just come back and I can reload it and it would just pop right back up. So what I will show you guys right now is how to create a strategy like Simple Scalper, or how to create your indicator pairs that make more sense to you, and then how to save it so that you can always reference it. So firstly, before I move on, is everybody aware of how to access the templates? You quickly click the 4 squares and then you load the template that you want, right? Just drop a 7 if you're okay with that and it makes sense. And then we're going to move on. Oh, T said no. Okay, so pretty much after you log on to Tradingview and you get into your chart, to the right of the indicators option, there's 4 squares right here, and you would just select the template that you want to use. The one I just gave an example for was this one right here, the MA exponential ribbon. You click it and the indicators will pop up already set on your chart. With this particular strategy, is just like any line indicator. Once you see that the candles, you don't want to trade in between, and that's just a gem right there. Like with any strategy, anytime you see lines or EMAs, even when on the double EMA strategy, if the candles are between the lines, don't trade. Like it's just really that simple. Wait until it crosses above, right? And then you'll get that momentum that you're looking for. Or wait until it crosses under. I'm pretty sure this is about more than 20 pips, right? So that's one that you can use. So then the next thing I was just showing is how to create your own. So I'm just gonna put this back up there and I'm gonna delete this stuff. So how to create simple scalper. That's the strategy that we're going to add to our charts today, and you guys can save it and use it because I know that this was a very popular strategy. I know I made a lot of money on it. I know I taught it a lot. So pretty much when you come into here, you're gonna have a naked chart. If you're starting to make your own template from scratch, and you want to click on indicators. Now not the Bollinger Bands, that's what we're going to use, but the simple scalper strategy has about 5 indicators, but we're just going to narrow it down to the top 3. So the first one is the Bollinger Bands. So you simply type in Bollinger Bands, you select Bollinger Bands, and then it pops up on your chart. Now, 2 other significant indicators that the simple scalper strategy had was the stochastic, which we already used, right, for our other strategy. So we can add that to our chart as well. And if you don't want to have to continuously search these, again, you can just click the star next to it, and then it'll always be in your favorites, right? It'll just make it easier for you. So we've added the Bollinger Bands, we've added the stochastic, and we add the RSI, right? Stands for Relative Strength Index. And then essentially we have simple scalper on our charts. Now we just have to change the settings a little bit. I really only change it to what makes sense to me. So if you wanted to do that, you just go into settings. The only thing I want to change is the upper and the lower, right? To make it look exactly like simple scalper. I'm going to change my upper band to red, right? So I know that once the candles start to touch that line or resist off that line, I should be looking for sales, right? And I'm going to make it a little bit thicker as well. Then I'm going to change my lower band to blue, right? Or it's going to stay blue. And I'm going to make that a little bit thicker as well. Now you can keep your middle line if you want. I like it because it's an additional EMA and just turn it black, right? So everything's simple, straightforward. If you want to keep the shaded background on there, you can, or you can simply turn it off, right? So all we did was change the upper band to reflect resistance. We changed the lower band to reflect support. And we just changed the color of the bases, which you really don't have to do. So there we go. That's the first modification that we would make. The second thing is the stochastic. I typically don't change any settings on the stochastic other than making the lines a little bit thicker. So I can click on there, go to style, and again, just make the lines thicker. That's about all I'm gonna do here. Nothing more, nothing less. You can change the inputs. The only thing changing the inputs is gonna do, can I add them with the free account or should I purchase? No, you can definitely add it with the free account because the only other 2 indicators that you would add for simple scalper will be the volume bar and the parabolic star. So if you just want to use the Bollinger Bands, the stochastic, and the RSI, you'll be completely fine with that. If you wanted to upgrade so that you can have it keeps telling me to upgrade too. Like I just upgraded specifically so I can have replays, but it's really not necessary. Like it's really not. And then on the RSI, we just gonna make it more simple by taking off everything except for the RSI line. We're gonna take off the background. We're just gonna keep this line black and make it a little bit thicker. And there we go. We got our RSI. So that's our simple scalper strategy, right? On our chart. Once we, and again, you can use any indicators that you want, whatever make the most sense to you. Once you get to this point, you've made your modifications, everything looks the way you want it to look. You just click on the squares again, and then you click Save Indicator Template. And we just gonna call this Simple Scalper 2023, for example. You could have it whatever you want. Save. Right? So let's just say I go to another template. Let's just say I'm on this one. But I want to get back to my Simple Scalper. I'm gonna just simply go back to the squares and then click it, right? So that's how you guys create and use an indicator templates. That's preloaded on Tradingview, or you can make your own. Again, my template is saved here as double EMA MOM strategy, right? So if you guys are good with that, just drop some 7s in the chat. And if you have any questions so far, you guys can ask them now before we move on to the next feature, right? We're going to move on to the next hidden feature of TradingView because they really be turning up. So before I move on, I have a question for you guys. Teresa, really this for you because you are the person I see that's trade any and everything. You just trade any and everything. When you are trading any and everything, are you trading, like, how do you make your decisions when it comes to getting into those trades? Are you using markets that are moving similar, or are you just looking at every market and then taking trades if it's a setup? I just want to know because I'm going to show you something that's going to help you if you do want to continue to trade everything. So I want to know what's like your decision process. I don't know if you want to unmute yourself or if you can, or if you just want to type it in the chat. Oh, if you see a good setup. Okay, yeah, because you be having some pretty good setups. But I'm gonna show you guys something that you can do to help you find better setups, right? So once you have your watch list, and all this stuff may seem separate, but it's really all gonna come together and make sense, right? So once you guys figure out, I figured out based on my wins and losses, I was good at trading USD pairs versus trading any and everything. So I just stick to that. But TradingView also added another feature where we can actually compare two different markets on one chart to see if they're actually moving similar and if it makes more sense, right? So I feel like essentially you'll be taking less losses. So how you would do this is, let's just say I'm on my Euro USD chart, and we can see that from the left right here. We can see that from the watermark in the back. But I also wanted to trade, I don't know, let's say I wanted to trade something random like, what's down here? USD CHF, right? I can click on USD CHF. Wait, no, I want to stay on USD. I would right click on USD CHF and I would click add USD CHF to compare, right? You can see it has a little orange tag because this is a new feature. So I click on it. We see this orange line was added to the chart, and we can see, like, based on what's happening up here and what's happening down here, these currency pairs are not moving the same at all, right? We can see clearly here the market was going up versus on a USD CHF chart, it was actually going down. So if we were to trade these two pairs and be like, I'm going to get in Euro USD for a buy, and I'm also going to get in USD CHF for a buy, you may actually end up, one of them trades may end up hitting stop loss because they're not actually moving the same. However, let me take that one off the chart. Right? You just simply, it'll be over here and it shows up as an indicator, and you can add as many of these as you like. Well, I'm gonna leave it on for a second just for example purposes. Now, let's just say I went to GBP USD and then I click add GBP USD to compare. We can see that GBP USD is moving more similarly than USD CHF, right? And that's indicated by this blue line. Now, let's see what happens when I add AUD USD. We just want to click on it and click add to compare. We can see that these markets, all three of these markets are moving kind of similar, right? And I'm going to take USD off so we see that's not working out. But then we can see how these markets are moving similar, right? We see when this is going up, this is going up, right? When this is going down, this is going down, right? We can see Euro USD was going down for this period of time, and so was AUD USD and GBP USD. So these pairs are literally moving very similar, right? If I wanted to see if Bitcoin is moving like this, add Bitcoin to compare, right? It's completely different. I know that if I was going to get in for a buy for Euro USD, I'm most probably not going to get into a buy for Bitcoin because these pairs are moving completely different. So once you get to the point where you're comfortable with one pair, this is why I encourage you to figure out how one pair moves. You can start to branch out from what you know to figure out other pairs that have similar energy. So you can have a little bit more confidence getting into your trade. It's like, yeah, you can go through your confirmation still, which you should do, but this is an additional confirmation. Like if I'm going to be looking for a trade, that would be the last thing I would do. So I would look at let me just go to the chart in real time. So let's just say I was looking at Euro USD and it looks like Euro USD just broke above the second EMA and I have all these confirmations for a buy. But let's just say I want to take another trade today. I could come to GU, right? I can literally see GU is doing the same thing here. Or I can just go by the line and say, okay, if I'm getting into a buy for Euro USD, I could probably take a buy on GBP USD as well, right? If that makes sense, y'all, drop some sevens in the chat, because this has been helpful for me. Like, if you guys noticed in the chat, all last week, all my pairs were major crosses with USD, right? I dropped a GBP USD trade. I dropped a AUD USD trade, right? And it's intentional. Like, it's very intentional. It's not, let me just do whatever. Like, I can't trade things if it doesn't make sense. So this just added to my trading game. It just was really helpful. I mean, I think it'll help y'all as well, especially as you're still learning, as you're trying to expand without guessing. Because once you get used to trading a certain pair, like I was trading Euro USD and GBP JPY so long that even looking at the numbers on another pair was like, I don't know what this 0.69, I don't know what that is. Like, it's just a little bit intimidating. So, yep, they're moving in the same direction, right? They're moving in the same direction. So you just literally confirm it by, if I wanted to see if NZD USD was moving the same way, I would just simply click add to compare, and I can see that it is. So this looks like, to me, my conclusion would be all my USD pairs are moving the same, right? Maybe I want to maximize my profits this week and I want to step outside of my comfort zone. I'm going to trade pairs that have a similar movement, right? I'm going to trade pairs that have a similar movement. And of course, you can always just grab on this and move it up. You don't have to do it because you can see it, but you can do that with all the indicators. Even if you wanted to grab this and combine it with that, you can do that too. So that's just a really cool thing that Tradingview added that I think is just going to be very helpful as we're learning. So if you guys are going to use the compare feature, right, drop a 7 in the chat. Then I'm going to, okay, good. Yeah, it's very helpful. All right, awesome. Because I know when we did the Bitcoin class with Spicy, she was saying how these two pairs move very similar. So now you guys can always just go back in and back test or figure out, maybe you did take a lot of trades in the day and then you broke even and some of your trades went positive and some of your trades went negative and you just don't understand why. You trusted your analysis, but you didn't see, like, okay, how is this comparing to what is the relationship between these two markets, right? So, all right, cool. On to the next thing. So the next thing that is so helpful, right, especially while you're in the practice and phases and you still get confused about doing your analysis, right, on the computer, but taking your trades in MT4, this next tip is going to be so helpful, like not only visually, but helping you practice your trading with confidence, right? So at the bottom of this, I don't know if you guys ever clicked, I don't know if you guys clicked any of this stuff, right? I'm a clicker, right? That's how I learned most of the stuff I know about trading. Just was like, ooh, what does this button do? And then being like, ooh, I just lost some money. I don't like that. So I had to go back and figure out, why did you do that? I don't like that. So just in my exploring, I'm definitely gonna post the recording in the chat. So the next helpful thing at the bottom of the screen is the Forex screener. Like, this has got to be my, I promise y'all, when I drop trades in the chat, but I go through all of these processes and I just be like, I'm checking this, I'm checking this, I'm checking that. So I'm trying to have more, like, I'm just continuously trying to increase my win rate. I love weeks when we have 100%, but it's not always like that. So when I mess up, I like to figure out where I went wrong and how can I make this better. So last week we went undefeated. I would love to have another undefeated week, because the more you know, the better you do, right? If you agree that the more you know, the better you do, just drop a 7 in the chat. And I'm going to show you guys how to use this Forex tracker. Like, I love it so much, the screener. So pretty much, it probably look a little crazy, but it's not crazy. And this is how you use it. So let's just say we're going to be looking at Euro USD. And this is also helpful for people who still get confused with the indicators, because this is, you cannot mess this up. So let's say I'm gonna look at Euro USD. It has a little search box down here. Euro USD. There we go, right there. Now, I've modified my Forex screener to mirror my indicators because it just makes sense. Because when you first add your Forex screener, it won't have the 50 EMA, the 200 EMA, the momentum, and the stochastic. It's you're gonna have to change it, which it's not that hard. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that too. But this is how you use it. So you can see the same thing. The time frame is here. So let's just say we were looking at Euro USD on the day. If I wanted to buy, right, I would just need to see. It's so simple, y'all. I just need to see B's or blues all across the board, right? It's this simple. If all of the things don't align, don't take the trade, period. Don't second guess it. So we can see on the daily Euro USD, we got buy, right? That means it's above the EMA. We got the 200. We see it's above the EMA. We see the momentum is facing up. We see the stochastic is at 80. We know with the stochastic, as long as it's over 50, right? As long as it's over 50, we should be in a clear for a buy. So this is on the daily. Now let's look at the 4-hour. Okay, we got EMA is a buy. The 50 is a buy. The 200 is a buy. The momentum is facing down and the stochastic is facing down. That's not what we want to see. That's the market is indecisive, right? And that's on the 4-hour chart. So let's look on the 1-hour. Okay, we have the EMA is down, the 50 EMA is down, the 200 EMA is up. Like you're literally reading it like, okay, if I see it when it's all the same across multiple time frames, you'll know to take the trade. So for this Euro USD, of course, I'm not going to act yet because the EMA, the 50 EMA is not agreeing with everything else. If I go down to the 15, it's just not agreeing, right? So if it's not agreeing, why would I take this trade and potentially get spiked out? It makes no sense. So let's look at GBP USD. And we're going to look at it first. You don't have to do all these time frames, but I'm just showing you how when it makes sense, it makes sense. And when it don't, it just don't. So on the daily, we have it's up. Yes, it's an easier way to see confirmations. Exactly. Especially if you still feel confused about, is it up? Is it over? I don't know. Use this as an additional thing. Just come down here and be like, all right, I see all B's on the daily. All right, my momentum is not there yet. My stochastic, so I got buy, sell, sell. My 1-hour, okay, it's still not, but of course it should be doing the same thing as the Euro USD. So let me just try to do something else. Let me do something weird. NZDJPY, and let's see what's going on with her. So on the daily, yeah, it's still a little. The momentum is under. But there will be times where everything aligns, and when it does, you pretty much can take the trade. So NZDJPY on the hour, I see buy. Okay, that's cool. On the 4-hour, I see buy, sell, buy. On the 15, buy, sell, buy. And another cool thing too is that it'll literally say, I'm not sure why it's not saying it right now, but it'll literally say, it'll either say sell, strong sell, buy, or strong buy. So let me see. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Let me just show y'all how to actually change your indicators. So pretty much to have your Forex screener mirror your indicators, you just want to click. First, you could change this trend following, overview, performance to oscillators, but you want to leave it as trend following. Next thing you want to do is click on these 3 lines right here. And then you just literally want to add the indicators that you have on your chart. So as you guys can see, I have my exponential moving average. But if I took it off, it's just simply not, you can see it disappeared like on my screener. But if I click it, I could just add it back and just put EMA. So yeah, you kind of got to set it up a little bit, but it's not that hard. Once you do it, it's there. And hold on, I'm trying to. Basically, you have all these settings that you can do. But I was trying to make the words come back because it literally will be right here. If you guys go to your Forex screener right now, you may actually see where it says strong buy, strong sell. Somebody just pull it up if you're on your computer and let me know if you can see that. I took mine off because I wasn't using it, but it's helpful to have because I like to just make sure that my confirmations are there. So cool. The Forex screener is literally like how I always say that I'm a visual trader. If you're more of a like, I need to see the words, I need the explanation, plus the visuals, then this is going to be a great addition to your trading style. So if this makes sense, right, and you guys can see yourself using the Forex screener, right, just go ahead and drop a 7 in the chat. Because when it makes sense, it just makes sense. Like, I'm trying to see, well, I ain't trading that, so let me do something realistic. AUD, USD, and see. It's not quite there yet where I need it to be. So I'm not going to be dropping any trades right now because it literally says the momentum is neutral. The stochastic is neutral. The EMA is like, that just doesn't make sense for me to want to hop into this trade. And you can modify this how you want. So I'm just basically moving my EMA back over here because that's at the top of the chart. This literally tells you how much it changed in an hour. Like, was it actually going up in an hour? Did it go above this place? Did it go like below this place? So yeah, that's that. Now, before I move on, do you guys have any questions about the Forex screener, how to use it, how to add indicators? Or no? If you have no questions, just go ahead and drop a 7, and we're going to move on to the next TradingView tip that I love. All right, awesome. So another cool thing that you can do, and I know this probably seems like a lot of information because it's like once you think you know something, it's just like 10 more things that you just now have to know, but it's all to make it easier for you, I promise. Like, I did the hard work so y'all can just duplicate it. Like, so the next thing here, which is so cool, is it's called paper trading, right? Because you can actually attach your broker, right? This is a little bit of an update, not too new, but you can actually attach your broker to TradingView so that you can take trades directly from the chart. Wow, that's amazing. I know, right? But even if you just want to practice with this, they have different brokers here. Like, I would like see broker lists. So they have paper trading, which is powered by TradingView, TradeStation, Awanda, which is a really good one, Forex.com, which is a really good one, Interactive Brokers. That's like, all of these are pretty much the most popular brokers that you can trade with. And then you can click see all brokers, but I just click paper trading because that is it's sponsored by TradingView. So it's just for practice. So when you click that, this is what'll come up. And let's just say if I wanted to get into this trade, right? Let's just say I'm looking at this trade and I think that AUD USD is going to sell and I want to see how it's going to play out. I'm simply just going to click this red button up here. And then you put in how much you want to risk. You put in what your TP is. You put in what your stop loss is. And then you click sell, right? And then at the bottom of the screen, you literally will see your trade playing out in real time. So this is for people who are literally just practicing, right? Maybe you're just in the house and you want to, I don't know, not be on your phone or your computer, but you just want to see how it's playing out in real time, right? Maybe you are the type of person that you don't want to wait hours and days and for your trade to hit, but you want to be a swing trader. I mean, you want to be a scalper within the Forex market. You can do this. Look at it on a 5-minute, see like, all right, this thing look like, let's randomly go to something, Euro USD on a 5-minute, and let's set a random take profit and stop loss. Of course, you guys know how to use the stop loss and take profit tool, so all of that information will be there for you. And I will click buy. And again, I'm into this trade. Just like on your MetaTrader 4, you have your account balance, you have your equity, you have your profit and loss, right? Which is literally your profit and loss. And then you have what's going on here. And then at any point in time that you want to get out of it, and this is not risking any real money. This is strictly for practicing, right? If you still find yourself not comfortable using MT4, this is so straightforward. You can't not get it right. And then when you want to get out the trade, you just simply click the X and it will say close position, right? If you want to modify your take profit and stop loss based on a new analysis, maybe candle broke structure, maybe something happened. So you want to change you just click modify just like you would MT4 and you just change your take profit and stop loss numbers, right? So this is for practicing, and it's really helpful. It's just really helpful. And you can still see your orders, right? The orders that you've taken here, right? You can also see your history of trades that you've taken on the chart. You can also see your account history, and then even just a detailed trading journal of what happened. Like, okay, I got into this trade. This was the price I executed it at. This was the lot size that I used. And this is really just going to help you with your trading edge because you're learning more about your trading style, right? You can take all these things that we learned, find a strategy that you like, right? All right, I see that the candles are falling above all these EMAs. I'm going to get in for a buy, right? I'm going to practice this right now. I'm going to use my take profit and stop loss tool, and I'm going to set a 20 pip TP because that looks safe to me, and then just watch it play out or see how it plays out, right? So if that makes sense, y'all, drop a 7 in the chat. And let me know how y'all feeling about these TradingView tips and tricks because I love them. They have added to my trading style so much. It's just like, wow, the more you know, the better you do. Even at this stage, July will be 3 years since I've been trading, and I'm still learning stuff to perfect my craft still to this day, right? And then again, this is going to stay on your chart, so you'll always know like what's going on like with the trade, so you can just close it, cancel bracket, yes, cancel this trade, yes, close the position, whatever, is closed. How do you change the chart to dark mode? I'm pretty sure it's in settings, canvas, background, gradient. Yeah. So it's in settings, canvas, background. You're welcome. Ooh, this looks freaky. Let me turn it back. Oh, you got gradient? You can get real fancy in here. I think Kayla was telling me she had pink and purple candles. Look what you can do to your chart, girl. That is so fun. That like a little sunset. That like a little sunset. Okay. That's nice. Wow, we can really get custom in here. So let me just change it back to white because I'm basic. Like that. All right, so there we go. So do you guys have any questions? I'm about to get into my canvas bag. Yeah. You probably gonna change the watermark to say spicy. So, all right. Before we move on, do you guys have any questions? Because there's only one last thing that I want to show y'all, and this is like, it's like one of my favorite things that I don't use anymore, but it's just so fundamental and fun. So, you guys are ready for the last tip? It's probably my favorite tip of the day. Drop a 7. We're gonna move on, and then that'll be the last new thing we learned today. Because none of this is a review. All of this is new information. Like, drop a 7 for. Let me see. I'm going to. Okay, awesome. So we're gonna be on Euro USD just for a second. Well, Euro USD is giving buy vibes. Just in case anybody wanted to practice or get in, that's just what I'm seeing. I'm seeing buys. It's in between right here, but anyway, that's not what we're here for. So basically, once you get all your confirmations, like you ask yourself the questions and you are ready to get into this trade, or maybe you're still not sure, you don't know when to get in or where to get in, but you know the confirmations. There is another indicator. You may have to take something off your chart, but there's another indicator called pivots. And pivots is so helpful because it literally gives you 4 TPs, right? And 4 stop losses. So all you have to do is put this thing on your chart, count your confirmations, and you are in. Like, it's really simple. So I'm going to take off my, I love you all, but you have to go right now. Actually, no. I have premium. So we're gonna go to indicators and we're gonna go to pivots. All right. And oh no, that's not the right one. This indicator is just, I think it's the regular pivots one. Sorry, y'all. Because it's 3 up here. Pivots high and low or pivot standard. Okay, pivot standard. So before I describe it, I'm just going to change some stuff just so that it don't look crazy like this. But you just click on settings, inputs, and instead of having 15 pivots, let's just put 1, right? I'm just going to put 1 for example purposes. And then I'm going to change my label position to the right, and I'm just going to click OK. All right, there we go. So what you guys see here is the pivot, right? You see this is what popped up on your chart. If you guys have ever traded with Lee Allen, pivots was a strategy that she used in addition to her indicators. It probably, if you remember, it was a little bit more like, the only difference she had was, and I'll probably teach you guys this too. Instead of having it a line chart, she had area because it's much easier to see when it's a area graph. Actually, this is how her pivots chart used to look. right? So basically, if you see blue, you buy. If you see no blue at all, you sell, and it's pretty that simple. But it's the same thing as, don't worry about that. We talking about the pivots. So pretty much you'll see a resistance 1, a resistance 2, a resistance 3, a resistance 4. You'll also see a support 1, a support 2, a support 3, and a support 4. It's very simple. If you're getting in for a buy, you just want to make sure that the candle is at a support line. Your TP for a buy is just going to be the next level up, right? For a buy. Or you can do 2 levels, however many levels you want to go. All of these will be pretty much different TPs. And I'm just going to, I only wanted to add 1 pivot so I can show y'all how it looks, but I'm going to just add 2 just to, so we can go back in the past and get some examples. However many, it starts you off with 15, but that's a lot. But let's just say we do 5. We can go back in the past and we can literally see when it was at a support. For example, right here, the market was at a support. It bounced off. It went up literally to the next line. It's really that simple. We can see the market was at here, right? This was a P stands for pivot. So that's a place where the market can either buy or sell. We see that the market was at a pivot point and it sold down to the support, right? So this is just really the easiest way that you can find a TP, right? Like, hold on, let me add 3 because I want y'all to see it very clearly, right? Pretty much if the candles are at a support line, you buy. If it's at a resistance, you sell. And you should be able to see like what's happening there. You can zoom in. The candles may be a little small because this is on your chart, but you can change the width and everything like that if you want. You could take some of these supports off. I typically go to TP2, so you don't have to have 4 and 5 up there. Like, you can just do it like that. But pretty much, if the candle is near a support, you buy. You buy up to the next line. If it's at a resistance, like we can see right here, it was actually at the resistance 3 line. And then it actually did sell down to resistance 2. So for a sell, you enter when it's near an R. Your TP is the next level down, right? And when you're getting in for a buy, it's the same thing. You buy at, and let me switch to another pair. Just so we can see this. You can do this with Bitcoin. You can do this with anything, right? And let's just see if it's accurate here. Sorry, I'm just trying to make the screen smaller so we can see everything on here. Now, let me take some of these pivots off. Okay, and do you guys see what I mean? Do you guys see what I mean? How we had the candles bouncing off of the support and then it went up to the pivot point, right? Even right here, if we would have, and let me just actually bring it back. So, well, let me take it back a little further. 1 second, y'all. So we can see it clearly, because I hope it's making sense. Replay. And we're going to go back to here. If we would have came into the market at this time using the same strategy, even with it's basically the pivot strategy from Lee Allen, it literally is. We would have saw that the candle bounced off, because this is an indicator, y'all. We would have saw that the candles bounced off of that pivot, right? We would have saw right here, we barely see any blue, right? And when you don't see any blue, when you're using area, you know that it's okay, it's setting up for a sell. Here, although it's facing up, don't get tricked by these indicators, y'all. Although it's facing up, it's still below 0. So based off of that, I would have been like, okay, this is a potential place for a sell. And then as we watch it play out, that's exactly what happened, right? So essentially, anytime the candles are between 2 pivots, the top one is your resistance, the bottom is your support, right? And we can literally see this is playing out. Look, every time it hits the pivot means it can literally go either way. So when your market, you find your line, as we can see, it was buying right there before, but then it pivoted and it sold down. That's what a pivot means, is it can change directions at any time. So once it gets to that point, you have to go based on your indicators. So right now, it looks like the market is at a pivot point. It also looks like I don't really see much blue here. It also looks like it's under both EMAs. So I'm not a Bitcoin expert, but this analysis right here says we may be able to get some profit off of a quick sell, right? And you can do this with once you start trading other stuff, US 30. The market's currently at a pivot point, but it looks like it's going to sell back down to the first support, right? So that's really what I have for you guys today, right? I think that was a lot of information. I hope that it was helpful because I just want it to be helpful. Like, I don't want this to be intimidating. I don't want it to be scary. I want you to just go in here with full confidence, like full confidence that you know what you're doing because you're seeing everything. Like, it's not about being right or wrong all the time, but do you actually understand what you're doing? Every trade will not go in our favor. We know that. But if we can set ourselves up for success, there's really no reason that we shouldn't all have a win rate that's over 50%, right? We should be clearing or making money on more trades than we're losing money on because the information is here. We just have to understand it and repeat it over and over and over again. But these tools are designed to make it easier for you. So thank you, Raquel. I'm glad it was helpful. So before we close out today, you guys can just let me know one thing that you learned today or one thing from today's class that you're going to take away and use. And I really do look forward to seeing at least one trade idea from every person in the chat, like this week. And I screenshot it, right? Tell me what you're looking at. It's not about being right. It's about understanding. Yes, recreate the charts. Yep. Okay. What else are you guys going to take from this lesson and apply to your trading strategy? Give you guys about 30 seconds to answer. Then we are going to wrap it up. Pivots for sure. Yep. Yep. Pivots is a game changer. It's a game changer. The pivots mixed with the Forex screener, right? It's a game changer. Okay, using pivots, which is a point of resistance strategy. Okay, yep, perfect. Perfect. All right, guys. So again, like I said, that's all I have for today. I will be uploading this video for y'all within 24 hours. As soon as it comes to me, I will post it. I know y'all gonna want to review this one sooner than later, so I'll just do my best to get it to y'all sooner than later. But that's all I have for y'all today, rich friends. Until next time, good night.